Alright, so this is an update video for Kenshi. We've had him for quite a while now. I believe it's almost been a year that we've had him. And he's been very interesting to have. I definitely feel that out of all the other dogs that we've had to try to pair with Coda, he's the best one so far. They actually get along quite well, and he actually seems to be at home now, so that's been quite nice. I definitely wanted to do like an update video, let you guys know where he's at, some things that he's definitely improved on since he is a rescue, and things that we're really trying to work on, or things that we've just noticed about him that they're just him, unfortunately, and some of them aren't really bad, but they're just things that we just know for him, that's just how they are. And let you guys kind of know like where he's at, that, you know, rescue dogs really are great animals. If you're really thinking about getting a dog, I definitely recommend checking out your local shelters, seeing if anybody has a dog that they either, you know, for whatever reason they can't take care of. Dogs don't necessarily need to be put down. Sometimes dogs just need someone that is a little bit more caring, has a little bit more time, and a little bit more patience to be able to deal with them for whatever their issues may be. Maybe they're just not the dog for that person, but you could be. I definitely feel like we are the people for Kenshi. I think that our home, he has definitely shown so many improvements. And at first, when we first got him, we noticed that there were some things that we didn't know if he was going to be able to overcome, but he definitely has. He'd always been an inside dog, had never really been on a leash before, and we knew that that was definitely going to be something we're going to have to work with him on. We were told that he was a 3-year-old dog, and sometimes dogs a little bit older, they're a little bit harder to like train. And we definitely tried to do some treat training, some food training, and we immediately noticed that that's definitely not the type of dog that he is. But he has since been able to actually improve on that, and he actually does quite enjoy food. We have had him try a couple of pieces of human food. He definitely likes that, so that's good. And he now actually responds to treats. So we've been able to actually train him a little bit better using that sort of like positive reinforcement for him, so he's been able to deal better. He isn't super great on a leash still. He gets very skittish. He does not like his harness. He just wants to eat it. Like, he literally will chew through his harness. I actually have one of his old ones here. He just literally chewed right through it. And these aren't cheap either. But just to let you guys know, we did check out our local savers, and people give these away all the time. So this at your local PetSmart will be about $23, $24, even for small size. It doesn't matter what size you get. They're going to be around $25. You can actually get them at your local savers for around $2 to $3. So that's actually what we've been able to find. So we've been able to keep him in a harness. He does not deal well with just collars. He'll actually slip out of them and he'll just take off. He didn't at the beginning really respond to us very well either. He didn't really have a name. They just called him Shiba because he's a Shiba Inu mix. So he didn't really have a name. So we named him Kenshi. And he actually responds to his name now. And he actually will make eye contact with us. He actually pays attention to us. And we can tell that he definitely feels at home now. One of the biggest issues with bringing him into our household was definitely that we could tell that he did not respond to males very well. He was extremely skittish around them. And now he definitely seems to be a bit more comfortable. He actually will get along with my husband just as much as he gets along with me. I can definitely tell that he trusts him a lot more too, whereas before Kenshi would only respond to me, only be comfortable around me, just felt more at home with a type of female person to actually like pet him and hold him, and that he didn't really like other people doing that at all with him, but he has gotten better with that. The biggest issue that he had when we first got him, because he was primarily an outside dog, is he would mark his territory on literally everything multiple times. Every time that we take him out to go potty, he actually will literally pee on every single bush, even if there's literally nothing left to pee. It's just something that he does. He's like marking without marking, and he goes crazy over that. So when we first got him and had him as an inside dog, he would try to pee on everything. So we have to try to persuade him not to do that while not scaring him because he was extremely skittish, and not installing bad fears towards us or bad emotions towards us reprimanding him. So we'd have to do more positive reinforcement than negative reinforcement, and that was very difficult at the beginning. But he actually has not marked anything since. He only did it once on a box, and then we did actually catch him. He got left out unsupervised for about an hour. Totally fine, but we're like, okay, he cannot be unsupervised. He has been left alone a couple of moments, but we're always like very vigilant about where he's at, and he hasn't had any potty issues since. But it's just always something like he can't be completely unsupervised. He has to be watched or at least checked in with every so often. And anytime that he does go in the back down the hall, he actually just goes into his kennel and sleeps there. He feels very at home being in his kennel. He feels the most comfortable there. So usually if he wanders off and we can't find him, he's usually in his kennel, and he's been very good since. Some of the things that we've tried to improve with him that haven't been super great, and hopefully we can get to be a little bit better, is his super skittish moments. Sometimes he'll just have moments, and we're not really quite sure what the triggers are, where it just almost instills like PTSD in him, and he'll do things that are just like crazy. He'll get super skittish. He'll try to take off with the leash. There's been times where he literally will rip the leash out of my hand, and he's terrified of the leash in those moments, and the leash is following him, and he'll just keep running and start hyperventilating, and I'll have to call for him, and he'll come to me because he feels comfortable with me, and just have to pet him, make him feel a little bit more confident, get his tail to come up, have him kind of calm down. But those moments just really take all of the training that we've done with him and just kind of bring him back down to zero, and we have to kind of start over with him. So that's always very frustrating, but it's just how it is with dogs, is they have a hard time learning and remembering certain things than just bad moments. So we always have to start back over, start doing treat training, and try to get him to feel more comfortable with the leash. That the leash is not a living thing, and it's not out to get him. It's literally, I have my hand on the leash, so that way I can keep control of him. And that way he doesn't just run off, because he does seem to be the kind of dog where he just wants to just go wherever he wants to go. And that's why he hates the harness so much, is because it's actually confining him, and he hates that. And Shibas actually are very known for that. They don't like to be confined. They don't like to be controlled. They like to just be able to do their own thing. They get very frustrated if there is something that's confining them or controlling them. And sometimes it can make them skittish. And so that might be the kind of Shiba that's in him, that he's just kind of a skittish nature. Also, those bad moments, we don't know what the triggers are. Sometimes he'll just seem to almost have maybe a nightmare, and he wakes up and he's already skittish at the start of the day, whereas other days he's completely fine. And so it's really frustrating to try to figure out what exactly is causing him to have these moments where he has a bad start to the day, and it really affects him trying to go out to go potty. He's extremely skittish, he's shaking, he's terrified. And then it makes the leash experience that much harder for him to actually feel comfortable on the leash. And then his biggest issue right now, kind of tying in with the leash and the harness, is stairs. He has this issue with stairs. We're not quite sure what it is. It probably could be that the owner that he was with previous, he'd never been on stairs before, but they super freak him out. He can go down the stairs just fine, but going up the stairs, he does not like them at all. He literally will just as he's going up the stairs, he rips them with his nails and just tries to hold on to the stair. He feels like he's gonna either fall down them, fall through them. I'm not really quite sure what it is, but he just is not comfortable with the stairs at all. We're working with him gradually of trying to have him calm down, to see the stairs as a positive thing and take them slowly. That way he doesn't feel like he has to have a death grip on the stair, that he can just slowly work up them. And thankfully, because we have Coda and she's very well trained on the leash, she sometimes wears a harness, that him watching her, they kind of can learn from each other, and that's always the best way to train our dogs together. And then the last thing I want to give an update about is kind of ties in with the whole not being able to have him unsupervised, is we had went to go on a trip, which he is super great on trips. Actually had to be taken to the groomers before we went on our trip, and he did phenomenal with that. I didn't know if he had ever been to a groomer before, so we took him to PetSmart. He actually did good with that, so that was a good thing. But then as we were actually packing up our Jeep to be able to go on our trip for Thanksgiving, we ended up putting him and Coda in the dog park together. We're very thankful at our apartment complex that they have what's called a bark park, to where it's a fenced off area, it's grassy, and that way the dogs can be in there, kind of play around. It's not super big or anything, but it's nice to at least have that kind of like area that you can put your dogs in and have them just, have nice, fun, very controlled space to play in and go to the bathroom. So we put them in there while we were carrying everything out from the apartment, and we ended up finding out that Kenshi can climb fences, which is very interesting. I wouldn't think that he'd ever be able to do that. And he climbed out. We were able to get a hold of him. He actually came to me just fine, and he didn't realize that there was anything wrong. So I picked him up, took him back over to the dog park, grabbed his leash off the fence and leashed him back up, and took him back inside to put him in his kennel, because obviously he couldn't just stay in the park. He had to get out of the park. So those are some things that we've learned about him. Very thankful to have found him on Craigslist and had the opportunity to bring him into our home. We were initially very not sure how it was going to go. Coda's never reacted well with male dogs at all, especially him not being neutered. That's always been an issue for Coda, but she's actually been totally fine with him. They get along great. They're best friends. And they play along with each other, and they're not too vicious or anything. They actually play very well. So I'm very happy that we're able to bring him into our home to be able to give him a better home than just having him just outside. Arizona is very hot. And I know that in Japan, Shiba Inus, it's very known for them to be in apartment complexes and for it to be pretty warm there and for them to be able to deal with that heat. But I'm still very thankful that he at least has his kennel. He's fed. He was super skinny when we got him. He actually has put on quite a bit of weight. I'd say that he's closer to 20 pounds now than he was around 12 pounds that he was before. You could feel his vertebrae on his back. You can't feel it as much anymore. He definitely probably could eat a little bit more, but, he's eating to his fill. We're giving him really good food, making sure he gets enough water, taking him outside. And he's definitely showed some improvements, and there's just a couple things that we'd like to work on with him. But that's just his update to let you guys know how he's doing as a rescue, a Shiba Inu Alaskan Klee mix. And I hope that you guys enjoy seeing the clips of him and getting kind of a bit of an update on his kind of second chance at a better life. Check out down below the subscriber shout out. If you want a chance to become my next subscriber shout out, just click subscribe down below and join the Panda family. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember, I love every single one of you. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.